Eyewitness News team live on top of the Stouffer's Inn on the Square roof, high above Public Square, where in a few moments from now, a piece of Cleveland's past will go up in a cloud of dust. We're talking, of course, about the Cuyahoga and Williamson buildings, a Cleveland landmark throughout the 20th century, which in just a couple of minutes will be imploded. We're here today because for several weeks, several workers have been preparing for this big event. They've been wiring the building with explosives, removing artifacts from both buildings for preservation historically, the giant Williamson building clock, most of the ornate brasswork, and finally that magnificent entryway over the Cuyahoga building. Inside those buildings, all of the dividing walls were knocked down so that exposed are only the main structural elements, the big beams.
Mark, are you clear?
And that's where the explosives will be placed in order to bring this building down.
Pat. Jack.
We're going through final checks now that everybody is at their site.
Turn on the seismograph
so that the detonation takes place exactly as
Jack,
planned.
tell me when you're in the
and
red.
the building falls in the proper way.
Seismic men, get out of here.
Okay, tell me when you're in the red.
The implosion itself, the way it works, it's not obviously an explosion where everything goes out.
On the red.
Okay, here we go. 15, 14,
We're beginning now. 13, 12, 11, 10,
roll
9,
cameras.
8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
2, 1, fire. Absolutely beautiful.
This thing is filling up the place. Boy, that American flag on the square is getting dirty. All filled up in a cloud of dust. If I can get Doug Loiseau over here, he will talk to me and let me know what the final version on this was. As you saw, there's nothing behind me but gray backdrop. This is really an exciting moment for the Eyewitness News team. This is the one thing I've ever done that I will remember forever and ever. We've got Stouffer's Hotel people up on their own roof. And Doug Loiseau is coming over to us.
He's going to join us in a second, Eileen. I try to get him over here. They're frantically covering cameras for this dust cloud that's about to engulf us.
Downtown to pay tribute to the Cuyahoga and Williamson buildings, Cleveland landmarks for nearly a century. And to watch the final preparations, wires being connected to the detonator, wires that hooked up to a series of 2,000 charges of explosives inside the building, wires that ultimately caused a bit of delay.
A break in the line, part of our cover had slipped down and broke the wire.
Officials of Control Demolition Incorporated worked beyond the 8:30 target time to fix the wiring, and police had their hands full keeping onlookers away from windows in forbidden areas. Then finally, just after 9 o'clock, it was time.
Here we go. 2, 1.
600 pounds of explosives, all going off precisely as planned, demolishing the building in seconds and producing a huge dust cloud. Even the birds flew for cover, ridding Public Square of pigeons, at least for a while. How was Cleveland compared to all the rest?
Dirty.
Dirtier.
Well, the building was dirty because of the time when it was built.
The dust floated upwards, creating a dramatic backdrop for TV5's live report from the roof of really something.
It looked like a textbook job. It just looked beautiful. The building fell from what we saw up here just the way we wanted it.
So beautiful it's worth seeing again, this time from the ground. And this is how it looked from Chopper 5. And when it was all over, relief and rubble. Cleanup started almost immediately. Washdown of the streets inch-deep in dust, removal of scaffolding protecting the surrounding buildings. It did its job well, only one window broken in the May Company. The crowd went home, leaving its mark, and there was quiet. Time to recall the big blast. Time to think about what was destroyed and what will take its place. A new Cleveland landmark, the Sohio Tower.
All I can think about is the debris gone, and the ground laid, and the building up.
Definitely a time to party. Eileen Corey, Eyewitness News.
It was a festive crowd of about 6,000, including hundreds who brought all kinds of cameras. There was even a crafty window cleaner who failed trying to get a better perch. When the buildings came tumbling down, cameraman Brian Archer and me were just 300 feet away at ground level. That was our first mistake. The man that pressed the final button was taking congratulations when the dark cloud rolled in and he took off. All I could think of was all those horrible Japanese monster movies where the blob ate everybody. For a good 30 seconds, we couldn't see our own hands. I was frightened because it was difficult to breathe and I was choking.
You didn't tell me it was going to be like this. Look at this.
The man who planned all of this was one of the few who knew what to expect.
I'm not dirty, but I knew where to go, and the poor audience didn't know where to go.
Well, no one knew where to go. Some people panicked. They tried to outrun the choking smoke. Apparently, no one was injured. It was sort of like a dangerous romance. Everyone loved it.
I loved it. I loved it. I'm glad I didn't miss it.
It's unreal. Amazing.
Were you frightened when you saw that cloud come?
I just ran towards the light.
What light?
Over here on Ontario down there, I just ran towards it, and I guess, I don't know, see my glasses and everything.
Years from now, grandfathers and grandmothers will tell their grandchildren how it was way back in '82 when these buildings came down and got us all messed up. Evidence of the dust, dirt, and grime was on windows all over, but a good wash will remove that memory. Other folks wanted more permanent mementos like bricks from the building that stood tall for nearly a century. Alan DePietro, TV5 Eyewitness News.